Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
In episode 417, Lainne Love discusses the things that she wished she had have known before starting her business and cutting through the BS.
Another thing that goes with being an entrepreneur is being able to take risks and really understanding what that actually means. Because there's the moment that you decide to take the risk. Like I'm deciding that I'm going to take out this big loan because I realize, yep, it costs money. I'm going to have to invest some money into starting this business. So yes, I'm okay with taking this loan. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, am I okay if I don't make it on the first try? If I fail at my first attempt and I lose this money and now I'm negative, whatever it is, am I going to be okay with that?
Talking with the Experts.
Hi, I'm Rose Davidson from Talking with the Experts. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Global Glamping Charities for their valued support. Global Glamping Charities, solving homelessness in all its forms. Reach out to them at globalglamping.org. Do you love your podcast and dislike the editing and uploading to the various platforms? Would you like to spend this time with your family and friends or work on your business? Podcast editing doesn't have to be a chore. Talking with the Experts partners with podcasters who need help with audio and content editing. If you'd like to know more, contact me, Rose Davidson, using the link showing now or send me a private message. Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. Today my guest is Lainne Love, and Lainne is going to be sharing with us the things that she knew about starting a business so you can cut through all that BS. You know, when there's so many great tips and lots of, BS out there, and oh my God, we've all heard the stories, we've all seen the research, and sometimes it becomes, really, really overwhelming for us when we're trying to start our businesses and we just don't know where to turn to. So, and sometimes we don't feel within ourselves, and Lainne didn't believe that anyone told the truth or just bits and pieces of it, and she would love to share a transparent account of her journey. So a little bit about Lainne. She is an award-winning coach and leading-edge healer specialising in transmuting trauma, overcoming limiting beliefs and breaking free through self-mastery. She is an entrepreneur, best-selling author, mystic, and she's a mum. Her process is rooted in universal law and metaphysics. She's informed by spiritual psychology and neuroscience and supported with subconscious reprogramming and energetic insights. Lainne's work is known for her dynamic, accessible and innovative approach to healing. She has transformed lives worldwide, helping her clients restore their ability to dig deeper, find more within themselves and birth the legacy they are here to deliver. She has been seen on Fox, CBS, NBC, Google, ABC, and is an executive contributor to Brains magazine. Welcome, Lainne. Thank you for giving up your time today to be with me.
Wow, when you read the list, it sounds like I'm fancy.
You are fancy. Everyone's fancy in their own way.
It's so true. It's something. It's something to hear the list because I just feel like I feel like a mom who loves the work that I do, and I'm always playing in that respect, in that field, and growing. So
So
Thank you.
in the work that you do, you're very welcome. In the work that you do, how does that equate to, starting a business and all of that BS that's out there in the world that, we all find ourselves researching and reading, and is it true and is it not true, and all those other things. How do you work away around all that stuff?
Yeah, I really love this topic of conversation because it's really important. There is a lot of half information out there. There is a lot of like fluffed up information out there too. Um, and it's going to be different for everybody. And I think that's really important because you have so many different experts that are saying, this is the way, you've got to do just this way, or only do this, or, ads is where it's at, or social media, and all of it's true. So just know that all of it is true. And just pick what resonates most with you. I'm not so much of a social media person. I like to have a little bit of a presence out there. And the only reason that I like it is because I like visual representation. When I see the pieces, it helps me to put things together. And so for that respect, I do a tiny bit of social media presence. And because it's part of like having a calling card. If somebody's curious or they run across you, they can just easily and quickly look you up. And with that said, if you're not really interested in social media, it's not an absolute necessary. It's not absolutely necessary. There are other ways around that. So I think sitting down with yourself and having a really honest reflection as to what are the things that you're interested in and what is the way that feels authentic to you in pursuing. What feels authentic to me is going through media. I really like writing articles. I really like connecting with the media. And I like podcasts because I like speaking. I like human connection. So that is what feels most authentic to me. So it's finding whatever that is for you. That I wish I would have known because I spent thousands of dollars and many years trying this way, but I would only ever really do it half-assed because there was this internal knowing that there's just something about this that isn't right for me. So that is really, really important. Another thing that's really important is it costs money. There's so many, like, it's not going to cost you any money. You can do this for free, or you don't need any money. You do. You do. At the end of the day, every step costs money. Whether it's thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, or tens of dollars, there are going to be systems that you're going to need to implement. There are monthly fees with those systems. There are going to be people that you're going to need to hire. And there are also ways around that. There are now, if you're starting a business now, you're really, really lucky because we have access to a worldwide pool. And there is an availability to hire people for a decent wage in their country. That isn't a lot of money to spend in your country. So that's a nice way of being able to create a win-win and get things done in your business. And the next step there, though, is that's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful game changer is if you're able to hire somebody, so a VA from another country, because they become experts in their particular field. But the next challenge there is communication and delegation, and how effective or practiced are you at delegating? and communicating. How kind are you? How patient are you? How good are you at problem solving? So all of these are really like necessary skill sets, and it's okay if you don't have them, because the point of life is to be learning and growing and developing and expanding. So having patience with yourself too, like forgive yourself for not knowing everything, and for the time that it's going to take. And it doesn't have to take you as long as it took me. You can become an overnight success. I want to throw that out there, because anything is possible. And you can absolutely create your own life and your own destiny and your own future on your terms. And if it takes some time, that's okay. I had a really hard time with accepting how long it was taking me, and how I was constantly coming up against challenges. And later I learned to turn challenges into opportunities. Okay, it's another way I've been developed. It's another way I can bring solutions into my life. And then all of that skill set translates into like who you are in your life. I also really like reflecting on how business skills translate into really helpful tools for parenting, and how parenting tools are really helpful for translating into wonderful skills when running a business. So really opening up your mind and looking at your life and seeing where your strengths are, and being able to apply that strength everywhere, not compartmentalizing your life like, well, this is business and this is family. No, it's you. It's your life. All of those things translate. So use all of your skills. Because at the end of the day, whether it's people or your family, business, we're just people. We're just people. When you're dealing with people in business, you're just people.
Yeah,
And so,
sorry.
yeah. No, please go ahead.
Yeah, because getting into entrepreneurship, the true sense of an entrepreneur is, always looking for solutions to difficulties that are coming up. And yeah, if you don't feel challenged, then I don't think you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Another thing that goes with being an entrepreneur is being able to take risks.
Mm.
And really understanding what that actually means. Because there's the moment that you decide to take the risk. Like I'm deciding that I'm going to take out this big loan, because I realize, yep, it costs money. I'm going to have to invest some money into starting this business. So yes, I'm okay with taking this loan. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, am I okay if I don't make it on the first try? If I fail at my first attempt and I lose this money, and now I'm negative, whatever it is, am I going to be okay with that? And then you have to be okay with that every day. You might be okay with it in the moment, like you're feeling really pumped up and brave and ready to go. But a couple of days down the road, a couple of weeks down the road, a couple of months down the road, when you still haven't gotten there yet, or when you're coming up against challenge after challenge, and you're looking at the balance in your bank account and everything is minus, you have to be able to be okay with that risk, with those risks every day. And that was definitely something that I wish I had a better awareness of, because I would have used less energy fighting with myself or trying to make myself okay about it. It's like, no, you've got it. It's a battle every day, and life is a battle every day. waking up and being yourself and overcoming yourself every day is a thing. It's a real thing. You have to master yourself every day, and master yourself in new ways, in specific ways when you're an entrepreneur. So really knowing the mental emotional fortitude that it requires to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've been in business now since 2015. And it's been a roller coaster ride, to be honest. And, sometimes I just want to give up. I just want to crawl into bed, put the sheets up over my head and just hope the world just goes away and I can just sleep forever. But, the next day you get out of bed and you try again. Well, I do. I just get out of bed, try again, and, keep going until the next time when I feel like crap, and just put my head under the covers again and come up with another solution, because there's always a solution to every problem. You just have to look far enough and deep enough to find it.
Exactly. So that's the battle every day. That's the personal battle every day, because there's always going to be something to face and overcome. There's always going to be a challenge. In business, you're just asking for more.
Yeah,
Life doesn't give enough as is, so please give me more. I want to be an entrepreneur.
yes, it's just, do that. Just be an entrepreneur, and and ask for more trouble. Lainne, tell me how you use your skills to help business owners overcome these challenges.
Yeah, that's a good question. So in life, we inherit ways of being, ways of thinking, programming from our ancestry, from our parents, from the society that we live in, the country, the culture, our religious beliefs. So we inherit all of these programs, these ways of being. And when it comes to business, when it comes to taking risks, we can often reach these blocks or these ceilings, and no matter what we do, we can't seem to overcome them or break through. And there's that feeling of like running in circles or just like banging your head against the wall. And that's because you're coming up against one of your subconscious programs. And so a way to move through that is by reprogramming your mind. And usually that means that it's trauma. And trauma sounds like this big word, right? This big, scary word. But really it's just an event that happens, and it's the meaning that we've given that event, what we've made it mean about us. And sometimes it is really, really emotional and impactful and scary and hard. And sometimes it's just you were 4 years old at the playground and you wanted to use the swing and somebody else was using it. So it becomes really, really interesting when we start to uncover these events or these incidents and examine them, and then give them new meaning. And once we do that, our association to certain roadblocks or ceilings has then been dissolved or removed, and it makes it so much easier, seamless, to be able to break through and take that next step, or expand our ability and capacity to come up with creative solutions, because our subconscious mind hasn't capped us or blocked us off at this particular ceiling because that was all we were allowed to do, because we were too small, or because we weren't allowed to be big, because every time we tried to, stand on the table and sing for our parents. They told us to stop and that we were being too loud and that we needed to be quiet and just listen. And so we made that mean that we had to be small. And so more often than not, we have, the 6-year-old versions of ourselves running our lives. And some, but as an adult, would you would you let your 6-year-old or a 6-year-old child run your life? You wouldn't. And so it's just going back and healing those parts of ourselves so that we can evolve and be able to effortlessly take those risks that were once not available to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had my previous guest to you today was a trauma expert, and we had a very similar discussion about you've got to heal the trauma before you can present yourself in such a way that your true authentic self. You need to find that person that you were meant to be before the trauma. And,
yes, and that you are.
Yeah, exactly. And so healing that trauma can put you on the road to discovering the person that you are meant to be in the first place, before you had all this other rubbish in your head that is not of your doing, but it's how you've processed, I guess, the feelings that you had at the time.
Yeah, and there's lots of ways to do it. There is working with an expert, or there's doing it yourself. And we have some really fantastic examples of people that have managed to overcome themselves and their trauma in different ways. David Goggins is a really, really popular example of that. How he has used physical manifestations to be able to master his mind. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're mastering our minds. We all have these, these two minds, these arguments within ourselves. And it's really practicing mastery over your mind. There's Joe Dispenza. He's doing the same thing as pretty much as David Goggins in a different manifestation, where you're achieving mastery over your mind. We have Wim Hof, the same thing. He uses breathing, where he's achieving mastery over his mind and his body. So those are really great examples of what it is that we're looking to do. And when we're moving through trauma, or we're using a therapist or experts to help support us, at the end of the day, it's still you. You're doing it. It's all you. I'm not really doing anything for you, but supporting you through you being able to master your mind. You have to show up. You have to do the work. I think that's also really, really important. Nobody can do it for you. You have a personal trainer with you at the gym to support you, to motivate you, to challenge you, to hold you accountable. And yes, for a lot of people, that makes a really big difference. And for others, they're really self-motivated, or they prefer to work alone. There's no right way and there's no wrong way. It's whatever way speaks to you. And I like working with support. Most of the time we're having to overcome ourselves, and do it on our own. But when I get to those hard places, I just find it faster and more efficient to be supported and held by somebody to help me navigate that. So I'm definitely into efficiency and speed, and I can't always see my blocks. Same for others. Like, yes, I'm aware that there is one. I've been aware of it for 10 years, but I don't know how to navigate it. So I'm going to seek an expert so I don't have to wait another 10 years, because although it is within me, it's within all of you. We all have the ability and the capacity to master ourselves and get to the other side of whatever those ceilings or challenges or blocks are. So know that. Do you need somebody to help you? Nope, you don't. Can you do it on your own? Absolutely. It's just whether or not you have the capacity to be able to do that and how long you're going to want it to take. And look at, different forms of inspiration, like the people that I just mentioned. Like, there are many, many different routes available to you. Again, as we started, it's just picking the one that resonates most with you and knowing what the game is and having fun. Play it.
Absolutely. Yes. And there's no point doing having a business if you can't have fun in the meantime.
Yes.
Lainne, I'd love to know more about your book if you'd like to share with us, please.
Yes. Well, I have a book, How to Use Hypnosis to Master Your Brain. And that became a bestseller on Amazon. And I wrote the book, one, I just wanted to offer something that was like really accessible to people that would be able to be supportive to them in their transformation. And two, to learn the process of writing a book. I was really curious. I've been wanting to write a book for 12 years. That's what I started 12 plus years ago. And I have lots of books in me. So there will be more to come. But as I started writing my first book, I was really curious about all of the steps and the processes involved with book writing. Okay, once you have written the book, then what do you do? And then once you do that, then what do you do? And again, now is a great time if you're interested in becoming an author. Anyone out there, you can absolutely do it. There are so many tools available to you. There are many writing services that can help you complete your book. There's editors. And then again, as we were talking about getting support with VAs, the VA can also help you to navigate how to upload your book so that you can self-publish and make that process so much easier and so much faster. And they can help explain the steps along the way. And then once you have your book finished and once you have it on particular sites, then the next step is, okay, well, now what do I do? Now what do I do? How do I let people know that I have this book? And then there are people that can help you with that as well. So that circles back also to everything costs money. Can you write a book and upload it for free? Absolutely. Could it become a bestseller that way? Absolutely. Anything's possible. And if you want some help with the steps, that's also available.
Lainne, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for sharing about your book. I'm sure that people will be interested to buy it from you. A lot of us are into hypnosis and how it can help us. So learning those steps would be, really great. Where can people find you, Lainne, if they wanted to work with you or find out more about you as a person?
Oh my goodness. Well, the best way is probably just go to my website, which is lainne.com. That's LAINNE.com. Or look me up in Brains magazine, as I am an executive contributor there. I am in media, so sometimes you can just Google search and I pop up, and whether it's an article or being a guest on a podcast, but definitely website is the best place to go.
Perfect. Lainne, have you got any thing that you'd like to share with our audience today? Some words of wisdom, some offering, some whatever it is that you choose.
Words of wisdom is always a great place to be, and that's just be yourself. I know it's really, really simple and sounds simplistic, but it's one of the most challenging things that we have to do in this life, because we're always looking outside of ourselves to think that I should be like this or I should be like that, or I'm trying to be like this or I'm trying to be like that. We don't need a copy of somebody else. We need you because you are a miracle. You're a one of a kind wonder. There is only one you. There will never be anyone like you ever again in the history of the universe. And who you are and what you have to give and to share is unique to you. And we absolutely need you. So be you and show up and do the work that requires. Do the work every day. I love David Goggins for that, and not being mediocre or average. Be exceptional. And I think that exceptional comes with being you.
Yeah, I think we're all special in our own little ways. Sometimes we don't see it. Other people see things in us that we don't see in ourselves. And if we took more notice of that, then our self-worth would be a lot better.
Yeah, that's it.
It's feeling of self-worth. Yeah.
Yeah, you're important. You are important. Nobody can be you. Nobody can be you in the whole world.
Oh God, I thank God there's only one of me in the world.
No, you are a gift. You are a gift. And yes, in a way, thank God there's only one you because you're unique. But, take that time. Take that time to be yourself. You are worth it.
Absolutely. Lainne, thank you so much for giving your time today. It's such an ungodly hour of the morning. I do appreciate your words of wisdom and what you've shared with us today. I look forward to talking with you again very soon.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com and be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.